Welcome to another episode of Anxious Black Belt, podcast that focuses on mental health, karate, and everything in between. Make gifting easy with Benson and Clegg. Handcrafted cufflinks, luxury accessories, and a proper British style. Trusted since the 1930s by royalty. Get 15% off with code KARATE15, exclusively for Anxious Black Belt podcast listeners. Shop now at bensonandclegg.com. Today, my pleasure is to talk to Sensei Patrik Visnovsky from wado-ryu, a fellow foreigner in the UK and an author of a awesome book, Karate Kinetics. How are you, Patrik?
Hi, Les. First, let me tell you thanks for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here, and I really appreciate it. And I've been good. It's as busy as it can get, having family and trying to juggle, club and all the side projects, as I'm sure you can relate, probably.
Yeah,
So it's been good but busy, but can't complain.
that's good. When did you move to UK? I'm guessing you had quite a few not the challenges, but the adjustment to make compared to let's say, Eastern European and Central European way of doing karate. And in UK, at least for me, it was a little bit of a change to the training approach and stuff like. How was your journey from Slovakia to UK and take on the karate?
That's a very good question. And like you said, it's a big change. So I started in Slovakia. I was 7 years old. In my sensei from day one, he made me fall in love with karate, which was great. I was receiving private sessions straight away. I was training, I think, 3 times a week. And this came from 7 years old up to 19, when I had to make decision, okay, do I do now university? Do I travel the world? Do I get a job? This kind of stuff. And I got in touch with Leo Lipinski Shihan. He was based in the UK, and he asked me this very question, like what I want to do. So I replied, I don't want to go university, 100% not. If I have choice what I want to do, I just want to do karate. And he said, well, maybe I can help you with that. So come to UK, we will check your karate. And if you are good enough, I have clubs, you can teach in the clubs. So this is how I came to UK. I was basically recruited to teach karate. And I was living in his living room, basically, sleeping on his sofa for the first 2 years. But it was experience which you cannot buy. You just need to go through it, basically. So this is how I got into the UK. It was a one-way ticket. But I don't need to explain you the challenges of English is not your first language. And especially the first few months, it was very, very challenging. But I was training a lot, and we got good relationship with Leo, and it was good. At the end, he opened me 3 clubs, so I was teaching 6 days a week, and the 7th day, which was Sunday, was always training. He was having this little closed seminars for his instructors. At that time, it was Sensei David Lewis as well, who passed away sadly a few years ago. But this is how I got to UK. And like you said, the challenges of the foreigner in the UK. I think UK can be very welcoming country, full of opportunities, but at the same time is very, very tough country for people like us who are trying to make their little mark, opening our own clubs at the end, trying to teach seminars, trying to publish books, for example, and stuff like this. So it's been a challenging journey, but very rewarding as well.
So you've been always in wado-ryu, or did you have started the journey in karate in different styles?
So I was simultaneously from day one. I was doing shito-ryu and goju-ryu at the same time. So we was doing, we had like this mixed curriculum, and the gradings was mixed as well. So I was always doing kurorunfa alongside anans and stuff like that. So it was mixed. But for first, like let's say 15 years, I wasn't even aware of the styles. To be honest, we were just training, you know.
Cool. So you had a quite a journey from Slovakia and hitting straight away with a top caliber of a Goju-ryu instructor, which was Shihan Leo. Um, how was the relationship with him supporting you in training? Was he very demanding teacher where he was like very supportive? Of course, he must have been supportive if you've been sleeping in his living room, because that's not what happens usually, right? So, can you tell more about him as a person? I never personally met him, but I heard a lot of things about him.
No, he was very challenging person. He had very strong personality, and he was like, you will do it this way. Everything else is wrong," kind of attitude.
Mhm.
So I went through that with him. It was definitely not okay. You go and you teach whatever you like. Or it wasn't. It wasn't like that. Even even in when I was teaching some kata, and I did a little move, little differently than he would expect. That it would be a big problem. So he definitely wasn't open-minded in that way. He was
Mhm.
very, very strict, but at the same time, his personality was very soft, especially towards me. I can't talk about others, but he was supporting me a big time. And sometimes when I was even struggling with money, he would buy me flight ticket back to Slovakia and back so I can see the family. So I couldn't really complain in that sense. But it was definitely over the years after that when our journey split. It split mainly because I wanted or I seen Goju-ryu or the approach to training and teaching different way. So we said, okay, it's not working anymore. I appreciate the time together, but I would like to do things differently now, maybe. So that's how we split. But that meant to this day, I'm very thankful because I wouldn't be here without him, definitely.
Yeah, well, it's an evolution of of a person, of your journey. We kind of meet people, we work with people, we then move apart and grow of our own. So since then, you've been running your own clubs. You had I know from the book that you've got quite a few very successful athletes you produced on the world stage. My congratulations. So from that journey. You finished with the Chiran Leo. You started to teach your own classes, your own clubs. Um, how was the process of developing the karate kinetics principles? If you guys want to know in the details, you can read the book. But if you could just guide us through that progression where you started seeing the connections and the patterns from your training to improving your students.
Mm. So it's not a short story. It's we was just we didn't have any goal or even vision. All what we was doing is basically the same approach I was doing in Slovakia with my sensei. We was just loving it. We was training. I was uh, I was very passionate about teaching my students, especially Alex from beginning. His parents was very supportive, and we was training an our peak of preparations 5 times a week, and it was in the
Mhm.
parks. It was on the it was outside basically. We couldn't afford to rent the hall for the private sessions and stuff like this. But looking back at this, it was probably the best thing what could happen to us because he developed the sense of balance and adjusting to slippery surface. On the grass, you train on many different surfaces and stuff like this. And somehow in 2017, he won the world championships,
Mhm.
and it came like a surprise because we went there basically, and it's 25 countries and all top level athletes. And somehow what we did and how we prepared, it worked. So then I tried the same approach to some other athletes, and it worked again. So then I was like, okay, we must be doing something right. I don't know what it was, to be honest, from beginning. And the karate kinetics, it was always my dream to write a book. But in my mind, it was always like books are written by these 60, 70 years old masters, with a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, who know how to write. And I think you was actually one of the first people who motivated me so I can write the book as well. Because when your anxious black belt came out, I
Mhm.
was like, okay, this guy, he's from Poland. I'm from Slovakia. Our language is English is not the first language,
Mhm.
so there is difficulty to write properly in English, so other people would not only understand you but enjoy what they read as well. And karate kinetics, first, it wasn't even like the structure of the book. I was trying to make the structure of the seminars so I can teach these principles easily. And whichever seminar I teach, I just can take the topic and do it kind of without thinking, like the structure, methodology, everything will be there. So I
Mhm.
start writing basic principles of what we do at the training, and for each principle I start writing the notes. And after like 20 pages I realize I am writing a book. So obviously I had to give it a bit of the structure, the introduction, and stuff like this. But it was never about having the goal to be successful. We was somehow successful first, and then I reverse engineered what we done and try to put it to nice, easy to understand and easy to teach. That's very important thing. Easy to deliver kind of system. So that's how karate kinetics.
Yeah, I really like the way you wrote the book in the terms of that I was expecting a like very difficult scientific knowledge and language be used, with all the terms and stuff. What you managed to do is to explain the complicated principles in a very easy and approachable way that the simpleton like me can just read it and think, oh yeah, I can actually do that and apply it in it. So you achieved your goal. And how long it took you to put all the program together? Because you in your book you're describing a story of your students, and it's a few students. Uh, over the it took you years, it took you months. How did that go?
No, it took me months. It took me the whole summer, basically. Once
Hmm.
I knew I wanted to write this book, it was very easy because all the experiences and everything was there. I just had to put it to some structure, and I had to put it on the paper, basically. So we was on holiday in Slovakia in my wife's parents. So my kids can see the grandparents, and while they was running around in the garden, I was writing a book. Basically, I was playing with them as well. Don't get me wrong, but I was writing a book the evenings, and it was very easy to put it together. While once I knew what I want to do, because all the stories, like you said, everything was there already, basically.
But the layout of the book and the principles took you a longer time, right? How long was for Alex to start training to be a champion, and then how long it was to so I can't remember other people's name from the book, but it took you things. So you've been kind of writing the stuff down. Oh, this worked well, that worked well. We need to implement this and stuff. So it was like a process of gathering data, right?
Yes, yes, and more. So everything what was working stick in my mind. Everything what wasn't, when we figure out something isn't working, then we just discard it, and it wasn't in my mind anymore. But all principles which are in the book, we are doing on a regular basis at our club in Hemel Hempstead. And then in EGKF is making more noise than Hemo Hampstead Club, but all the hard work is done at the club. The EGKF is just platform for these athletes so they can attend international competitions. So with Alex, he started when he was 4 years old in Leo Lipinski's clubs. He was one of my first students when he opened the clubs for me. And it's hard to say how long it took because it's just natural progression. But then we have athletes like Sofia, Ella, Lily, who are the names in the book.
Mhm.
And it took them from absolute beginning to the peak, maybe 5 years, I would say.
Oh, that's really quick for athlete development.
Mm.
I'm gonna do a shameless plug of my own creation as well. I'm suppose that you keeping stuff in a memory. I've been doing the same for quite a long time. Um, it would be useful tool to have a journal. So hey ho, there's my journal. If you guys want to write stuff down, there is a 365 pages of note space with a mood tracker and everything. If you want to support karate for mental health, grab this on the Amazon. Of course, grab the karate kinetic as well. Link's gonna be floating somewhere, so you can see or down below. Um, let's get back to the conversation. Plug is done. So you've been around the competition scene for quite a long time. Have you been competing as well with the success from your own training, or is it just you are a better coach than karateka as a athlete?
No, so my biggest achievement was I was national champion kata in kata of
Mm.
Czech Republic. So I was competing. We was doing kata team as well with a few of my best friends from Slovakia. We used to really enjoy it. So when other people went out play football, we went to the garage and we was just training karate, beating each other up and trying to synchronize our moves and training kata and all this stuff. So I was competing as well, but from a very young age, I realized I like teaching,
Mhm.
and I realized when I put all my effort into me, it's maybe I can be even the some champion, whatever. Yes, but
Mhm.
it will be only me. But when I spread the knowledge, I can make him champion. I can make her champion. I can make many people good by putting and spreading that knowledge between people. So I really enjoy even to this day. It's not like work for me. It's just a pleasure go to the club and just making these kids good. And the thing with me is I don't see the person how he is now or she is now.
Mm.
I can see how good they can be in 3 years time. So I really work towards that, and without a doubt I enjoy a lot more teaching than competing myself,
Yeah,
definitely.
I've got a similar. It's something much more rewarding seeing people succeeding than yourself. I don't know how to explain it, but I've been competing in kind of committee and stuff like that. Never been super successful, but I have to say that back in Poland when I was teaching and here, my students are not us. We don't take part in the like world championships like you guys do because we're independent. But the little wins of the competition, it always feels better than when I do it myself, always better to watch, but as well is more stressful. How do you cope with the stress of like being a coach on the national and international stage when you're going out there and your students, competing? It's for me, it's a nerve-wracking, very emotional, very personal. You're jumping in there, this judge is shit, this judge is doing something wrong. How do you
Yeah,
cope with that?
I just love it. This, like some people get adrenaline rush from whatever they get adrenaline rush. I get my peak of adrenaline when we come on the mat and you see Sophia or Alex competing. Is nerve wracking, but is a good stress, if you can say it that way. It's not like stress you are scared, but it's like I really hope they will do well and they will perform to the peak of their performance, like we was trying to do at our countless private sessions. And you can
Mhm.
see it's nerve-wracking for them, not for Alex anymore. I have many stories where they was calling him on the mat and nobody could find him, and he was meditating in the room, wherever. So he's very, very calm, which stressing me out even more when I see him how calm he is. But other guys who are not as experienced, like Sofia or Ella or Lily, because they done it for much shorter time. But credit to them, because I think Ella and Lily, after just 2 years of practice, they went to European Championships when thousands of people are looking at you and everybody shouting. And if you, England team is very small. We have max, we had 10 competitors. Like Portugal or Romania, they have 200 competitors. So you can imagine when 200 people plus their parents start shouting Portugal, you just cannot outshout them, and that's something what I really appreciate about my athletes. They are very, very strong personalities as well, and they are just up for it, and they go on the mat, they do their best. And it was great to see, even if they didn't win, they took that loss on the chin. They didn't give up, and next week they was again in the club training, trying to get even better. So that's really great to see.
Yeah, that's even more credit to you that you can create or support athletes that go in there without feeling like they're outnumbered and not worthy, and going through and winning with so many people and taking the top places. So well done to you. Um, I know from my own experience, moving from one country to the other is very stressful. It's very hard on a mental side of the things as well. For me, karate was an anchor that kept me, I could find a club here, come in, help me. How was the martial arts impacting your mental health through your life? Obviously, for you, it is pretty much the part of your life. You started being very little. I started much later. But what you finding in karate that is kind of either beneficial or maybe detrimental to your mental health?
So this is what many people misunderstand why I'm so passionate about, especially kids competing, because how to say it in simple ways, because if this life is just one big competition, when
Mm,
you are a boy, you go to high school and you want a girl. If that girl is good enough, it's not only you want the girl, it's 10 other guys. So you need to be better than 9 of them, And if you apply for university, they have, I don't know, let's make it up, 100 spaces. But if you go to good university, 300 people apply. You need to be better than them. You go to job interview, if you go to good job, 70 applicants for one good job. So all this life is about the skills, and is about what you can do better than others, unfortunately. And from the very young age, if you get this mentality that, okay, I'm not going to competition only to take part, but I'm going to do my best to win. And if I don't win, I take it on the chin, I get better, I educate myself, I come back next year, maybe I will win. With this kind of mindset, I think is karate is the best sport, if I can say, for this kind of mindset. Alex is now adult, and he developed his own company, and he's working 16 hours a day. And I'm not exaggerating; he's proper crazy about this. And I asked him, like, where do you get the last? And and he said, all the core principles what I apply now in my business, I learned in karate when I was 5 years old. It's all about this commitment, discipline, consistency. And for me, karate comes very naturally, so I don't think about what is karate giving me, but I do my best to think what I can give back to karate, if that makes sense. And I try to teach these principles to others in my club, and hopefully we are doing a good job. We will see.
I'm sure you do. Um, so the teaching of karate is your main job, or do you have to work as well? Sorry, my cat is
Uh,
pestering me.
no worries. I have full-time job as well. Yes.
All
So
right.
I teach. Now I teach 5 days a week, but it's like my part-time job. Let's say I have full-time job. I work in the office for a
Mm-hmm.
logistic international company. So I work behind a computer 8 hours every day, and yeah, after that I take care of family and take care of club and federation.
That's a very busy day.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
Um, so how when you start setting up the clubs in the UK, and then being part of the bigger federation, how do you finding all working out and managing the athletes, going on the competition, teaching and everything? That is consuming a good chunk of your time.
Yes, yes, that's a good question. To be honest, if now I look back at it, I have no idea how we did it. To be honest, it's just when you are thrown into it, you just somehow do it. And EGKF, the federation, thanks to which we go internationally, was never my intention or the goal. I just wanted
Hmm.
to. I contacted them. I have one athlete. I want to register him, and he said, "Okay, you cannot register him as you. We are the World Federation. You need to go as England, as country."
Okay.
So then we start researching. Okay, so where we affiliate, where we register with who, so we can go. And it turned out there was nobody in England who did it. So they told me, okay, so you set up the federation, English Federation of wado-ryu, so you can go as England, not as you Hemel Hampstead. So
Hmm.
within days, as crazy as we are, we set up the federation, and I think it was a month before we went to Romania or Germany. Now I'm not sure. In 2016, we didn't win anything. It was like yeah, it was a long trip. It was a long practice, and it was maybe 2 minutes on the mat,
Hmm.
and then all the flags went against Alex, and then we enjoy. I think it was Germany. We enjoy the food there, and we fly back. But then
Well, you have
yeah,
to start somewhere, right?
yeah, yeah, and yeah, club is like my family. I have many my best friends there. Many
Hmm.
parents of my students. We buy each other presents on the birthdays, and we go to dinners together and stuff like this. So Ella's parents, they helped me a lot. It's when I was here alone before I had family, they fed me, after every karate session. John, if you're watching, I still appreciate it. It
Hmm.
was very good. His wife was making the dinners for me. We had a good meal together, and they drove me back to London when I was living at the time. So definitely, without the people who was around me, I wouldn't be here either. It wasn't just me; it was all the environment and people around me.
It's nice that you found the support from the people around you. I've been fortunate as well, and the people always supporting me and helping me. It makes so much easier. I had few stories of friends who haven't been so fortunate and decided never to come back to UK because of the bad experiences. So it's nice to hear that you as well had a good positive journey, just as myself. But how long did it take you to grow? Because now the English Goju Federation got quite a few clubs. You've got people in Kent, I think. Is it Kent or
No, we
um
have
uh,
we have in Kent, we have in Devon,
yeah,
we
that's right.
have yes, we have Dalji. Dalji is not affiliated to us, but we collaborate very closely.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a few clubs. We have two clubs in London.
Mm-hmm.
So Yes, it's growing, but I'm not looking for actively to grow VGK much. It's like I said, platform. Whoever wants to, uh, whichever athlete wants to compete on this high stage, I am happy to open the door for him or for her. But yeah, EGK is just platform for once a year to go abroad, basically.
Mhm.
Yes.
Are you planning to write more books? Sequel, Karate Kinetics 2. That sounds good.
Yes, volume two, and I don't want to put much on record right now, but it's been in making already. But I give myself 2 years to complete it. It won't be fast. It will be
Awesome.
definitely advanced. It will be continuation, the advanced program for advanced kinetic chains, definitely, because I love it. I figure out I really love to write, and when I heard the feedback and I can see how many
Hmm.
people are ordering this, then is definitely space for volume two.
Well, there's always space for new karate books. It's a very small niche, but very supportive. I was worried about publishing my book, but the response was very good, and people encouraged me to do more. And just like you, I kind of liked it. So I done a few more books and working on a few more. Obviously, now it's taking a bit of a slowdown because so many side projects, as you probably have your own. It's just finding the time to do anything. It's a struggle. Plus, kids getting more demanding and more of a taxi driver than a coach. But
Mm.
you know, so I'm looking forward to reading next Karate Kinetics book. But speaking of a feedback, tell us more. How do people reply it, and what messages you're getting and support?
So first of all, I was very surprised it was shared by many people, including yourself. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate the support because karate, as you know, it can be very divided environment because we have many
Hmm.
styles, and even in that style we choose to have many different organizations to divide it even more. But I was surprised by the feedback. I was so the I'm not sure if you noticed, but my book doesn't have the number of the pages on the
Hmm.
bottom. So I write it in the way wherever you open it, you can just start reading and it will make sense. So it's not like first page to the last page. You
Hmm.
can literally open it anywhere, read 3, 4, 5 pages, and it will make sense by itself. So this is what people like by the feedback so far. And I am aware that this first month, many my friends and students, colleagues, and like these first line supporters was supporting me with buying the book. So
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to see what next month will bring when all of my friends now have the book. Let's see who else.
Yeah.
Let's see who else will buy it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna spread. It was the same with my book. I think everybody who starts writing and publishing is in the same boat. It's your friends, and then it's kind of get the word out. People share online. That's why I like to share um, people who publish the books because I've got a small following on my social media, so I can always support because people supported me when I started it. So it's nice to give back, and it always comes back to that giving back to the karate community and supporting others, and people support me, so it's nice things to do.
Nice, yes.
Patrick, thank you for your time. I know you got a family. My son is pestering me for breakfast and going to his BJJ class as well. Shout out where people can find you, where people can find your organization, and so on.
So we have for the club, we have the website which I can send you the link or something is
Hmm.
www.info/karate.com, and you can find the same info about the EGKF. The book you can find on Amazon. You can find me on Facebook, Hemel Hamstead Karate Academy, and we have English Goju-Ryu Karate Federation page on Facebook as well. I try to put there as many posts as I can physically do without making people annoyed about these posts, so I don't try to do it every day, but I have many videos and articles and photos in the pipeline, so I just try to gently spread them out.
Cool. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
You need to post stuff because it's interesting stuff, especially share your successes and success of your students because you're doing a great job. Okay, guys, links down below, links floating on the top somewhere if you're watching that on YouTube. Follow Patrik, get the book, and grow your karate. Thank you very much, Patrik.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks.